An idiot threatened to hurt a cat, so I drove 6 hours to handle it personally. When I answered my phone, a sound came through that wasn't quite words at first, just ragged breathing, and something between a sob and a wheeze. It was Jade, my girlfriend's best friend. "He's going to kill her," she finally managed. "He's going to kill my cat." I asked who, what happened, where she was. The story came out in broken pieces. She'd finally ended things with her boyfriend Ivan, a guy built like a refrigerator who I'd met once and immediately disliked. He didn't take the breakup well. He beat her until she passed out, dumped her unconscious body outside in the snow, and locked her out of her own apartment. Now he was inside destroying everything she owned. Then her voice dropped to something hollow. He said if he hears a single siren or sees a cop, he's killing my cat first. My girlfriend had just boarded a plane to Paris for a work trip, and I knew she'd want me to do anything I could to save her friend. I told her I was on my way. She lived 6 hours from me. I grabbed my girlfriend's industrial taser from the closet and the legally owned Glock I keep locked in my car, never fired outside a range. I hoped tonight wouldn't change that. 6 hours is a long time to think, and I ran through every scenario. Direct confrontation was out of the question because Ivan had at least 80 pounds on me and fists like cinder blocks. Calling the cops immediately was also out, unless I wanted to attend a cat funeral. Jade kept texting me updates the whole drive. He threw her television out the window. He smashed every plate she owned. He screamed that the cat was next. Each message made my foot press harder on the gas. I told her to stay hidden, stay quiet, and stay awake. The temperature had dropped below freezing, and she was locked outside in nothing but pajamas and slippers. She said she couldn't feel her fingers anymore. She said her chest hurt when she breathed. I told her I was almost there. I made the 6-hour drive in just under 5. I pulled up to Jade's apartment complex around 4 a.m., found her huddled against the building, shivering so hard her teeth were chattering audibly from 10 feet away. Her left eye was swollen shut, purple blooming across her cheekbone, and her lips had turned a shade of blue that made my stomach drop. A pile of her belongings was scattered across the snow-covered lawn like the world's worst yard sale. I was about to speak when a second-floor window flew open. Ivan's massive frame appeared, and he hurled something that shattered against the pavement, a lamp. He screamed something unintelligible and slammed the window shut. The rage that hit me was cold and useful. I pulled Jade to her feet and half-carried her to my car, cranking the heat to maximum. Her whole body was trembling, her breathing shallow and wet. I pressed my car keys into her frozen hands and looked her in the eyes. If you hear a weapon shot, you drive. You don't wait, you don't look back, you just drive somewhere safe and call 911. Understand? She nodded, tears streaming down her swollen face. I told her to call the police in exactly 15 minutes. Not before, not after. Then I headed toward the building. The fire escape was icy, but climbable. I pulled myself up to the second-floor window, which Ivan had left cracked open from his earlier tantrum. I slipped through into a hallway covered in broken glass and scattered clothes. The apartment looked like a tornado had developed a personal vendetta. I spotted Jade's orange tabby hiding under an overturned bookshelf, wide-eyed and terrified. At least the cat had survival instincts. I crept forward, keeping my footsteps light on the debris. Ivan was in the living room with his back to me, holding one of Jade's plants above his head like he was about to spike it into the ground. I closed the distance in 3 steps and pressed the taser to the back of his neck. 50,000 volts did their job. He dropped hard, but not all the way. He was on his hands and knees, gasping, one arm swinging wildly. His fist caught my shin and I stumbled back. He started crawling toward the kitchen counter where a knife block sat. I pulled my Glock. Ivan heard that click and his whole body locked up, one hand frozen in midair reaching for the handle. I told him if he moved another inch, I'd be giving the cops one less person to arrest. He stayed frozen. Smart choice. Sirens hit about 90 seconds later. When the cops came through the door, I had my hands up, Glock on the floor, carry permit already out. They found Ivan still on the ground, the destroyed apartment, and Jade's statement waiting for them outside. They arrested him and I walked out clean. The paramedic said Jade had early-stage hypothermia, but she recovered fully. The cat was fine, just traumatized. I stayed in a hotel for a week helping Jade get new locks, new furniture, and a restraining order filed and approved.